Have you ever wondered why now, before you register an NGO, is so difficult? You have to go through EFCC. You know that, right? Or none of you have tried registering an NGO in Nigeria? You have to go through it. As a matter of fact, Kelechi, right now, WEFON cannot operate. They're trying to get their EFCC certificate, or you can't operate. Because the international organizations have caught on. WEFON, the last time we did a project from, I think it was UNDP or USAID, I can't remember which one. Do you know we had to borrow the money to do the project before UNDP would pay? If you had to do it, it was a lot of money. But UNDP or USAID said, go and find the money to the project, and we pay. And the only reason I personally encouraged it was because I was sure USAID or UNDP would pay. So we went into the venture and we did the program, and they paid. That's how NGOs operate. And that's why NGOs are no longer popular in Nigeria. Because that free money is no longer there. Imagine you getting 50 million naira project to do. Where are you going to get? Assume you need 30 million to do it. Where are you going to get the 30 million? The bank refused to give WEFON. Individuals had to loan WEFON the money. Do you hear NGOs doing sessions now and taking pictures? Do you hear them? I mean, it used to be very popular. You hear this, oh. They keep inviting you here and there. Do you hear them anymore? The old NGOs that are operating need to get certified by EFCC. So what am I saying? NGOs have not been playing their parts. They need to speak up. Moving forward, sustainable development. Do we even have any development in Nigeria? You just said it. No good road. NEPA self, none. You're not even talking about water. Government does not. Surulere, or some parts of Surulere is the only place I know water corporation still exists. Does anybody else know anywhere else in Lagos? Only in Surulere. But guess what? My mother hasn't had water run in her house the last 5 months. This is Lagos, metropolitan city. Like I would tell people in Nigeria, the only places that exist as city, Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt. That's Nigeria. If I'm lying, please add another state. I would want to hear you defend that state. Does anybody have another state? Nigeria is Abuja, Port Harcourt. Even Port Harcourt has dropped. Port Harcourt has dropped from the radar. It's only Abuja and Lagos. Why? Because the people in governance, you, me, and everybody else, have decided to resign to fate. Resigning to fate, no cut. I'm glad you just talked about you're going to preach. You start preaching to your people. They have to start thinking politics. Everybody is a politician. Oh, I'm not. No. You have been playing politics from birth, manipulating your parents. Now your children are manipulating you. That is politics. Nobody is born as a politician. You might have an extra flair for politics, but everybody is a politician. You just develop the interest. As if they born you for mind, that's politics. That's where you now have the extra edge from the next person who has resigned to faith. They won't let you. I'm coming to women and politics, but we have to understand the rudiments of governance. We have voice and accountability. Does it exist in Nigeria? If it exists, let me know. These are indices. That says a country has good governance. We're not holding the people we have sent to the seat of government. Are you getting it now? Not the seat of governance. We are in the seat of governance. But we send people to the seat of government. We all can't go to the seat of government. Are you getting the difference? There's a big difference to governance and government. We are not talking. You have to be bold to talk. You have to hold them accountable. Accountability. There's a good reason and a good opportunity that is slipping off. You know what it is? ASU strike. You know how? I've had the opportunity. I mentored some student governments in Anambra. If the students, 7 months, and you all stay, go. Are these politicians not, they don't have houses? Nobody knows their villages? Nobody knows their houses? When you go to their houses and hold them hostage, they will act. And we all know they have their children abroad. Just 2 days ago, I mean, when was it? The Adamu of a minister of education went to England after meeting with us. Asu told him, Monday is here, Monday, August 29th, indefinite strike. You enter plane, go. Mbana. You should go to that airport and scatter the airport. When will we start having a voice? Until we do nothing, nothing is going to change. My village, as I remember them, when my parents used to take us on holiday, it is still the same way now. Haba. It is now individuals. We contribute money, we do that, we tar our road, you do that, put light. You can't even put light. We put light. Rochas took down line from Olu to Akokwa and it ended in the village. 8 years running, we don't have NEPA. So you go to the village, you're running generator. With cost of fuel and diesel now, and nobody's saying anything. Nobody's saying anything. Political stability. Does it exist? We're in the season again. I hope you're all following. First of all, if you have to be in politics, you have to stay on your information gathering. You have to stay on social media, whether not fake, whether not fact, you have to read everything. It is left for you to now do the fact finding because you are interested. Are you getting it? You have to listen to the radio. You have to listen to the news. Read. You have to gather all the knowledge you need. This is one of it. Wherever it is available, even if you have to pay for it, please do. Knowledge is not wasted, though. Knowledge is not wasted. When you need it, you'll be shocked how much of it you have. You'll be shocked. My children will always tease me if there's a way to just plug in, what do people call it? Flash drive. Just plug it into my head and support all the information and knowledge I have in my head, and then play it out. Put it on CD. They always teasing me. After almost 30 years, my last child, last night told me, Mommy, I just realized you're a quiet shy woman. Yes, I am. I was laughing. I said, after 30 years, you just realize it that only when I want to talk politics, that's why I brought it up. Only when I am talking passionately about the pain of bad governance. When people say, oh, it's bad governance, I say, now you know. Are you getting where I'm coming from? Because we're always saying it in Nigeria. Oh, it's bad governance. It's the government. Which government? Now you be government. Are you people getting where I'm coming from now? You, I, all of us are the government. So now you bad, now me bad. I personally, I go to sleep now and sleep very well, knowing that I have gone out there, I have done my own, I have fought in my own way. There are some quarters, they call me caterpillar. There's some quarters, like in Abuja, they'll say iron lady. Meanwhile, I go to grow my own. But when you do the one where I know, like, I recall once we went for a meeting in Abuja. PDP, I'm still PDP, although I'm obedient this year. I keep telling my people, they know, I am a PDP to the court till tomorrow. But this year, I am very obedient. We need a change. By the time this session is over, I hope you will understand why I am obedient. Not because I'm Igbo. Talking about that, people who know me now, I'm not even Igbo. I'm a core Yoruba woman. I was born, bred, butter, jammed up in Lagos. People who claim, oh, Yoruba, I'm the real Omonile. Let them come and tell me the history of Lagos. Or if you don't have Ade or Olu or Ola in my name, I said, look, I'm not ready for Lagos politics. I play politics in Lagos, but I'm not ready for elective posts yet. We will break it. So we go on. Political stability is not even in our, none of this so far. Is any of this in our dictionary in Nigeria? If there is, please correct me. Maybe you have a superior argument to that. I'm always learning, still learning. Lack of violence. Do we have it? Do we lack violence in Nigeria? It is in abundance, with impunity, with reckless abandon. That's why me will be bush person. So I no fit fear the cast person to come. I came home to Nigeria last month. When I come, I only stayed 5 days and I go. And it pains me. Everybody's like, I came home. I was ready to come to the Southeast to see my people. Wherever you are, I will come. And they're like, no, 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 no. Please stay in Lagos and go back from there. We'd rather have you alive. That's painful. That is painful. But whenever I come home, I must get to the village. I must get to the east. The last I came, a few months ago, I went by road. First of all, I don't tell anyone how I operate. I went by road. When you see me, you see me. When they realized I came by road, they said, "Why did I expose myself?" I said, "Oh, meaning what? If it go happen, it go happen." That's my philosophy to life. If that is how God wants it, so be it. But you know what? You went by road. After all, from Owerri Airport, it is like going by road. It is still the same hazard you will face as far as I'm concerned. So what's the difference coming by road from Lagos and flying? Say what happen. And then when you check the time, you will go to the airport, even if it's a first flight, or usually after first flight, you're on your own in Nigeria. So if you're able to get on the first flight, is always assured. But what if? Just what if you get to the airport? By the time you get a flight to go wherever it is you're going, it's 11 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock. By 11 o'clock, I'm in Onitsha. I'm home already. If I went by road, and I'm there in Nigeria, in Lagos, wasting time. Why can't we get back to where you pick up and go wherever you want to go, whenever you want to go? I like traveling. Most of my travel, I travel at night. I love to travel at night. Why? You start at night, in the morning, you're there, you do what you have to do. If you want to, why should I be on the road the whole day? I find it so tiring. So the violence is not lacking in Nigeria. It's not lacking. We continue. Now, how do you evaluate that the government is effective or the governance is effective? I already said it. We are the government. We are the ones governing, but we send a few people to go to the seat of government to represent us. But do they? No, they don't. There's so many benefits of governance, so many benefits. Again, our politicians will travel abroad. I'm sure you all have seen it on social media. You see them entering train, staying in line. Have you? So if police have talked to them, they go say yes sir, yes sir. It's true now. They obey rule of law. And then when people say, oh, Nigeria, no, it is the people that made their country the way it is. And our politicians travel. They enjoy the goodness of a good system of governance. In our elections, we're supposed to be able to say, come, in this election, no, one of the things we'll be voting for is NEPA. So that it will be on record, it will be in the law books of Nigeria that 70% of the people voted for NEPA to be 100%. Right? If you vote, it is part of your voting. You're not just voting for a person or party, but you're voting for what you want on election day. That's what they do abroad. And that's how they hold whoever you're sending out there to go fight for you. Your representative from Lagos, for people who vote in Lagos, might be, oh, we want vegetation. They vote 80%, right? In Imo State, there we could vote, okay, we want good roads. We vote 100%. If we vote like that and eventually send somebody wins, because even if not 3 or even if not 10, one person wins, they are representing us, isn't it? It doesn't matter which party you take win, you have won. You are now a representative for Imo State, not for APC or Panadol or, you know, there used to be a headache painkiller that was APC. You all won't know. So whether an APC or Panadol, that's why you hear whether an APC or Panadol. APC used to be a painkiller, very strong painkiller. So whether, it doesn't matter what party, but you have won to represent Imo State. You did not win to represent your party. And when that happens, if we voted that we want good roads in Imo State, when you go there to represent us, you better be fighting to give us good roads. Everything we voted, checked, this is what we want. Everything we voted for, you better be talking about it when you go there. And that's where writing bills come from. Oh, my people checked off a good road, though. You must write a bill to fight. That is how you fight to get things for your constituents. But do they even do it? Do they even do it? No. We, the people, are supposed to be writing bills and sending to your representatives. But we don't do it. We don't. Working women, right? That's your organization.
Yes, ma. Workplace women. Ma,
Workplace,
auntie,
yeah.
my hand is up.
Huh?
I said my hand is up.
Okay.
I think right now you've actually struck a jackpot. You know, many of us as workplace women who are in the face of the activities that go on. You've said all of us are in the seat of governance on a daily basis. So how do we write a bill? Where do we find these people? How do we, contribute in an impactful manner? Please, Ma, if it would be great if you can dwell on that a little. Thank you, Ma.
Okay, let me address that. Writing a bill is very simple. I'm sure you have a lawyer in the house. You have PRs in the house. They know how to word it. But you all have to come up with what you want and then develop it, right? Fine. When you write your bill, you can, first of all, the seat of government that we have is supposed to be an open door policy. But do we have that? For you to cross the gates to even go to the assembly, it's a hassle. Do you know how I go in? Kelechi, you've seen me. By the time I dress my dress, I will still be senator wife. Nobody argues. So first of all, when you look at me, you don't even know whether myself, do they even know who is a senator or who is a rep? They don't. I've never had a problem. I will tell them I'll be senator wife or self, I'll be representative. They let you. That place, you are supposed to be free to walk into the National Assembly freely. Go into whatever office, whoever you want to see, freely. But in Nigeria, they make it so difficult. When I used to live in the US, I have gone to the Congress to talk to my representative. Even now, I still do. But as person, I'm in US doing a second missionary journey. By the time I find my footing back, I'm sure I operate from here, like our obedience is coming. I've arranged people who will, you have to go and listen and ask questions. Not just go and be flabberwhelmed and overgasted by talk. Go with your questions. I told my daughter she will go. She has said this weekend we will talk. We would arrange the number of questions to ask. You have to learn to stand up and ask, what's the worst that can happen? What is the worst that can happen? They off the mic on you when you overtalk. I mean, not so, but at least you put it there. And that's why I tell people, when you stand up to talk, no introductions. Say what you have to say. Let them say, what is your name? Okay, I have said what I want. Now you want my name. I will tell you. But when you start saying your name and go, your time is good. Before you know it, they say, your 2 minutes is, When I stand up, I say what I want to say. I know I have to say my name or not, but I need to put in my word. Let it start going on its journey. My name is irrelevant. My name is irrelevant. My operations, I like to walk from behind. Kelechi can testify to that. I like to operate from even my PDP. I like to be member. Oh, come to the. What am I sitting on the high chair? I'll be, what do you people call it? High chair? Is that what they call it again? High table. Not high. I sit under the tree with everybody. I sit on the high chair. What impact do I want to make to the group, organization, whatever it is I am a part of? So you write your bill, you request, if you identify, this comes back to what I'm saying. You have to be on top of reading to know which of the members, which of the senators align with your idea. That is who you will look for and present your bill to. You get it? People, am I boring you? I'm not even hearing anybody. Can I at least hear an amen?
Yes, ma'am.
From everybody.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen. Chisom, amen.
Amen.
Ruth, amen. Amonya, amen. I haven't heard your amen. Ruth?
I think Ruth is driving.
Huh?
Ruth, I think Ruth is driving. Okay, Omo has said her
Amen.
own amen.
Amen. I was looking for the unmute button. Sorry, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma. Amen.
Amen. No. Okay, we continue. I'm not done with the indices, so that's why it's interactive. If you have a question, if you have a talk, and that's why I say, if you have anything on the contrary, please bring it on. We'll talk about it. You think I'm not going the right way? Correct me. I'm ready. I'm ever ready, learning. Another indices to governance is effectiveness of governing. Are you seeing any effect? Has the people you sent to the seat of government to represent made any impact on your life? No, they don't. They don't. If in the days of Fashola in Lagos opened his mouth to, he actually did it. I got the letter to say I have to pay tax on borehole where I do myself. Give me water. He didn't see the light of day. He did not see the light of day. Because I said, anybody who crosses my gate, good thing I have a well that I dug to build a house. Now that's where that person go see himself. Anyway, the person will not cross the gates, first of all. Why would a right-thinking person, what you are supposed to give my entitlement, you now say you're going to tax me? How does it work? And that's why please, you preachers, I'm glad you even brought that up. When you're preaching, tell people, when these politicians come and say, oh, they will give you light, oh, they will give you good roads, that is nothing. It is his duty to assure that I have that. basic infrastructure, basic needs. It's like telling your baby children, oh, I will give you food. Banana. Don't give them food. That is your basic responsibility to feed them. Are you not promising them something big? But if you now say, I will buy you ice cream, I'll say thank you when you give it to me. But not when you give me food. You expect me to say thank you. Thank you is just being courteous. You understand what I'm saying? But being very appreciative is when you now give me ice cream. But not when you give me food. That's an obligation. Are you getting it? So, workplace women, you must go and identify. I don't know what your mission and vision is. Do your research, identify a member who has ideas that aligns with yours. Okay? Regulatory qualities. Do we have it? The so-called regulatory body. Do we even hear about NAFDAC again? I haven't heard the name NAFDAC in a very long time. Is anything regulated in Nigeria? I'm asking, if you know, please. It is an interactive session. You people are just listening. Me too, I'll soon shut up and listen. At least NAFDAC is the one we used to hear. I have not heard the word. Now, I haven't even read them in news in a very, very long time. You know how many people fake drugs have killed in that country? Wasted people's lives? No quality control. How many of us are committed to this struggle?
I am.
I'm only seeing 2 hands.
Ladies, put on your video. Doesn't matter if you have not made up.
You
want
wanna
to
see? You
your...
don't see? I'm naked itself. This one, I feel stand up, but I go see you.
Oh my God!
See? See.
Prof, Auntie Nnenna is not looking into the chat room. Just put on your video. She's not seeing any of these our chats in the chat room.
Auntie, the blouse alone now.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
So now we.
She's so. Yes, so please, yes,
Now
put on your
we.
videos. Yes, yes. Thank you,
I would
ma'am.
rather you relax. So I can, even if you are not talking, I can see your facial expression to know that you're listening, you're digesting what
Yes,
I'm saying. I don't want to keep
yes,
talking.
yes.
All
Ladies,
right?
put on your videos, please. Ladies, please. Put on
And
your
let me
videos,
hear
please.
you. Let me hear you. Let me hear you.
Yes, yes. Prof, I'm seeing that you're saying you can't hear again. Prof, log out and log in again. Network can misbehave. Just log out and log in
Yeah, the
again.
network has been off and on.
Until your own is very stable. Obviously, you're in a better place. God help us in this country.
Amen. So, based on what I have said so far, what do you think are the effects of good governance? Everybody must talk.
Elizabeth, good to see you. Good to see you, Elizabeth. Don't put off your video. I have seen you. Good to see you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Elizabeth. What do you think? Maybe we should start with you. You are our superb boss in Nasarawa. What do you think are the effects of good governance? You know, I still remember your words the last time. It brought me to tears when you were telling us how teachers within the public space cannot even have their children go to school. It haunts me. I wish you didn't give us that scenario that day. It's been I've been traumatized, Elizabeth. You know, so maybe we should start with you in responding to that question. We have Tony here. I don't know if she has logged on back. You are a lecturer. ASU is on strike, ma. You know, what do you think are the effects of good governance based on the 9, I think.
Yeah, more than 9, no, madam. Kelechi.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Index that Auntie Nnenna has pointed out. You know, Auntie Nnenna fired shots in your direction this morning, Ramatu. You guys are the NGO people. Funny enough, you are even still firing on. Yes, but she fired some shots in your direction this morning. It would be good for you also, you know, to respond. All right, so I don't know who is going first with that question. Maybe we'll start with you, Ramat or Elizabeth.
No, Elizabeth started talking.
Oh, okay. Elizabeth, please go on. Please go on. My network is behaving. Let me take off my video. Go on, please, ma.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Happy to see you. My name is Elizabeth Ebo. I'm a teacher, a very passionate teacher. As well, I'm an entrepreneur. We are glad to have you here today, Mrs. Nnenna. When you talk about good governance, and you look at the level at which the stage of governance have gone so decayed in Nigeria, you will find out that the situation is so appalling. And what do we do? Just like Mrs. Nnenna said, we cannot sit down and watch. What are we contributing? In your own little way. In your own little way, how are we going to go about it? When we have good governance, you find out that the people rejoice. For example, in aspect of education, when there is good governance, education will be imparted. The ASU strike we are having now is as a result of poor governance. So There are so many prospects in having good governance. If you talk about the health sector, you will find out that a lot of things will go well. Maternal health to be reduced, maternal death to be reduced, poor nutrition among our nursing mothers and their babies will be reduced, and even the general society will have proper healthcare facilities and health workers to attend to them. So effect of governance cut across so many areas that will give us prospect as a nation, as an individual. There are so many of them, but I will just stop now so that others can contribute because of time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Thank you. Who is going next? Blessing. I thought Blessing was trying to speak the other time. Prof, would you want to take the floor? Can you hear us now, Prof? You were complaining about your network.
Okay, good morning. Yes, I can hear now. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Nnenna. I do like to know your surname though. You spoke so passionately, and these things are for me. Nation building is something that is at the core of my heart that I'm very, very passionate about. And just this morning I was watching on YouTube the ASU president speaking on Arise, Arise News, Arise TV, and for all the points that he made, we could see that from what is happening in the education sector, education is not a priority in Nigeria, and it's really sad. It's not a priority at all, as in it's not something that they budget for. It comes as a second thought, and if you want to destroy a nation, just destroy the education system, and that's all. When a nation that have graduates that their education is not consistent, they can't compete any other place. Every year there is a strike. Every year, the learning is not consistent, and if the learning is not consistent, the knowledge also will not be consistent. It will be haphazard. And that is what we are facing in Nigeria, and it's really sad because it seems like I remember before I became a lecturer, I didn't understand a lot of things, so I always get angry with ASU instead. But now, I mean, corruption is a big part of it. Let me start with the IPs paying system that we are fighting against. First of all, many people don't even know that this software, this IP software they are using to pay us, was not made in Nigeria. It's built outside the country, and we pay a license for it. We have a license, and they are paying in millions every month for that software to be used to pay us in millions of dollars. So now we have developed our own in Nigeria. You are not going to pay anything, but they don't want to go with it, right? That is deep corruption.
Because of that's another way to siphon money.
Yes, is another way to siphon money. So they're not moved, and like you mentioned, their children are not here, and because their children are not here, they don't even care. So we know we are in the news, we watch the news, we're on social media, we hear the different other things that are not important that they pump money into. Yet they don't even want to look at the side of ASU at all, you know, to give anything. And this is an agreement that has lasted for years. All right. I heard a story recently about someone that in a church, a pastor was telling me that someone came to their church and gave his life to Christ, and he confessed that in ASU, quite unfortunate, right? In ASU, they have 3 of them. He's one of them. They have 3 of them that are being paid to ensure that ASU goes on strike every year, and that they will never ever agree with the federal government. So their agenda is to disrupt education in Nigeria. I mean, it's so sad. It brought tears to my eyes when I heard it. And they are members of ASU. They are professors. Do you understand? So, you know, when you hear these things, you begin to wonder. But then, what's our own what's our part? What's our role? Our role is that as good citizens, as responsible citizens, talking about us, let me talk about us as lecturers. Let me talk about you know, the education fair now. What's our role? We have a very big role in nation building as teachers, a very big role. So what I do personally now is that even though school is on strike, you still continue to mentor and coach the people that you are teaching and help them to, you know, find other things to do so that their brain will not rust. Even while school is in session, what I do personally is that I teach my students other things that is not the course that I'm teaching them. All right. I teach them other things about life. I take out 10 minutes from my period every time to teach them other things that they can learn. Sometimes I even bring people to teach them other things. I can teach them about time management. I can just teach them employability skills because I'm an employability skills coach. All these things are things that will matter to them when they go out there. So even now that the school is on strike, many of them, they have that knowledge.
Thank you for that. Thank you. The network is touching.
Can help themselves out there.
I can't hear.
You know, so we have a lot to do, and that is why we are here in this mentorship class, so that we too can go out there, because I believe in prayers. I pray for Nigeria every day. I'm in groups where we pray for Nigeria, but we can't keep praying and not do anything as Christians. So we pray and we still leave the governance to the bad people. It doesn't make any sense. So while we are praying, we should also work towards being in there to change things. Yeah.
Okay, let me cut you off. You said you are the bad governance, so you are the bad person. I hope I don't. Have you been listening to me? That's the mindset I want you to have. You are the government. You are the government. You are in that seat of governance. Have that mindset. Take it out to people you mentor. We have to start letting people know you are the government. When you say government, it is you, now you. Because you have allowed these things for so long.
True, ma.
I'm glad I have you in here as an educator. When ASU strikes start, you all should pack your load and be reporting to work at all the commissioners of education, the minister's house. Park in front of his house. Start your strike there. Not have let children start their day, come to lectures in front of the minister's house, in front of the commissioner of education in their state.
Yeah.
These things should have stopped years ago. Forget about the people who are paid to cause strike. Okay, you've collected their pay to cause strike. We could do that strike for your house. But we are not governing.
Yeah.
It is also, you all should stop talking about, oh, bad governor, bad government, bad government. You are the one bad. I am the one bad. Start changing your mindset. Rewind the wires in your head to know you are the government.
Sure.
I guess most of you did not start with me, so you would have heard I started with governance is government of the people, for the people, by the people. The politicians that are in National Assembly are your servants. They are our servants, but they have turned themselves into boss, and we have allowed them stay that way for too long. It has become a norm. But norms can be broken. Norms are broken. A lot of norms have been broken. If norms have not been broken, we will not be on this internet and be doing meetings without being under a roof. I believe so. This is technological. This is a technological norm that was broken and continue to be broken. I remember when I was in school, to do computer was a whole, this laptop you're using was a whole room, a whole kitchen. This computer you're seeing now computer is your phone. Your phone. I can do the same thing I'm doing on the laptop talking to you. I can decide to switch off the laptop and stay on the phone with you. I will not be so, which I'm sure most of you are doing. The ones driving, it's your phone you are using to do meeting. So it is technological norm that has been broken. So why would we allow a few handful? How many people let me even ask, how many senators do we have in the country? When I say another politics, so this is basic. If you don't get it, I'm switching off. How many senators do we have in that country? I will switch off.
Please don't switch off.
The lecture is over now.
Switch off.
How many senators?
108.
No.
And in each state we have three senators from coming from each state. So if you multiply by 36, you get 108. Am I wrong?
Oh no, I will take it. We have 109.
109.
8 senators, yes.
We have 109 senators. So only 109 idiots, excuse my language, are holding 250 million hostage. That's a food for thought for you. 109. Even if you allocate 10 to each individual as their family, how many do you have? Calculate.
10,900.
Thank you.
Or 1,090 rather, 1,090.
So only 1,090 people are holding 250 million people hostage. 1,000. How do you explain that?
Wow.
How do you explain that?
Nigeria is finished, seriously.
You see why I said, if we start holding them hostage, these things would have stopped. But we have allowed them become our boss. Now they serve them now. And that's why they do, they go buga. They've been bugaing since. None of us, they suffer. None of
That's
us,
so.
they suffer. 109 people. And we know where they live. If you don't know where they live, I will give them to. They're not hiding. You cannot go to their houses to hold them hostage, and the police or the army will shoot you. Say what happened. They can't do it. The police and army, are their children not suffering with everybody else? It is the same market. Everybody goes, they go. We have to start changing our mindset. You have to go out there and start preaching it. This is why I always jump on the opportunity to speak to another group, because that's another many people I have to restructure and rewind your brains, and it keeps spreading. I am pained. I'm pained. My daughter was beaten by SARS. I almost burnt down Ajah police station. I almost burnt down Ajah police station.
Wow. Wow.
I said, when is it a crime? You see, when is it a crime that you go to ShopRite and they close, you stay till they close and you're coming home and you know see keke or what, because they didn't drive? And the SAS people just, oh, there. So I was in the forefront of SAS, October 20th. She was too. Wow.
Okay, ma'am, can I go ahead?
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's literally a full day. Permit me to have my video off. I realize it's affecting my network and I've been kicked out a couple of times. Still on the
Okay.
effect of governance. I loved when you said if you want to have to be in politics, you have to be, informed, and you have to have this information gathering skill or techniques. I want to come from the INGO world. I happen to work with Action Aid Nigeria, which is an affiliate of Action Aid International, and I'm also a confidence development coach with the Institute of Leadership, Entrepreneurship, and Personal Development in Texas, United States. For me, I think we have a lot. This is just more of a contribution. I think we as individuals, like you pointed out, ma'am, we have a lot to do. And I'm very excited to share today that I was part of the women who took the National Assembly in the March protests, where the women, we were demanding for 11 seats for women in governance, indigenship, citizenship, 35% in party leadership, and more appointive positions. Because it is time for us, like you said, to take the streets. We all cross the same roads, we all drive through the same path. It is time to hold these leaders accountable. And there's so much, the effect of good governance would do in our country as a whole. We're looking at the economy today. Our dollar is literally swinging. It feels like we are moving from one rate to the other. The security situation in the country right now is nothing to write home about. And there's just so much indicators to point out to. And I want us to quickly look at, what we had come in the previous election, because the 2023 election is drawing closer. And in Nigeria, it is estimated that we have about 100 million eligible voters, citizens that are 18 years and above. But surprisingly, only an estimated 27.3 million voters has decided they were the ones that decided in the just concluded 2019 presidential elections, bringing the total number of lost votes to about 72.7 million. That in its sense is a disaster, and these votes that we lost, if we have to count them, it comprises of the following: unregistered voters. And that voter number brought us to about 17,655,893 unregistered voters. Voters registered without permanent voters card, 9,568,608. Voters registered without PVCs. So you see all these statistics. How do we change this narrative come 2023? Thank God I was involved in the Osun election, Ekiti election. There's so much going on. And, we see these political parties boasting that come 2023, we're going to have the highest vote trading ever in Nigeria. It's going to happen. But I want us to be incurably hopeful, like Bishop Kuka would say, that 2023 election will hold. But as workplace women, as women in this forum, what are we willing to do to see that 2023 election, each and every one of us, our votes would count? We would stay back to see that we're able to deliver, our units. INEC is doing some hanky-pankies behind the scene at the moment. There are a lot of people who are yet to receive their cards, and they're refusing to release these cards. There was a stakeholder meeting that we were supposed to attend last week. But when you hear these things, you are upset that Nigeria is in short, I see Nigeria as the best of the best. But what exactly are we doing as individuals to see that come 2023, we change the narrative. I'm happy you asked how many senators do we have in Nigeria. My question today is, how many female senators do we have in Nigeria? How do we begin to change the narrative? During that, when we took the National Assembly, we had barely 2-3 of them come to join in the protests. I was in that protest day and night. NAOB led that protest. Abiola led that protest. There were so many voices who were in the core front to see that we begin to change the narrative. It is high time we took to the streets. We own the streets. I love the fact that you said we are the government and it is time for our voice to be heard. Nigerian women, please rise up to the occasion. Let's make the world, the country, a better place for our children. Because at the end of the day, it's about us. What legacy are we going to leave for these kids? I am pained to hear that your child was, assaulted by SARS. We've had this clamor, and it is time for us to say enough is enough. What are we going to do to change this narrative? I'm upset. What I saw in Osun election, I cannot just imagine, but I am happy about a lot of other things. You could see older women they stayed on the queue. Having to be an observer, seeing that there were a lot of youths that said, look, bring the money, we go collect some. But you see this vote when we go vote the people when be our choice. The beavers worked, on an average, we had about, if we had to say, let's say 2 minutes for us to have accredited people and they were able to cast their votes. I'm excited to tell you that the PWs, that's people with disabilities, were able to cast their votes. We now have when the president, sent the bill forward, PWs came up to say, look, we should be included. So inclusivity is beginning to be the norm of the day when it comes to politics in Nigeria. Women voices are being heard. We have the voices of Adora Oyecheri. We have a lot of other people. We have the voice of Kelechi, saying we need to make a change. So I am actually pleading now. Don't say there is nothing to be done in your small circle, your WhatsApp group, your office space. Be the voice, be that change we need to see come 2023 election. So please, let's get to the streets. Let's occupy the street. What we said is we occupied National Assembly. We can occupy the streets of Nigeria, make our voices heard as women, are put up now without, saying this person is not competent or not. Select competent leaders to be in that position because we know that the struggle will continue. And the greatest challenge faced in Africa right now is leadership. But it is in our place to change the narrative. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ramota.
Auntie, to allude to that fact, to take it from where, Elizabeth, a minute, please. To take it from where Ramat, dropped it off, I hear Ramat and I hear her clearly. But as someone who has been in sync, with the people, so when I say in sync, maybe not necessarily at the very grassroots level, but, I sit where people sit. I know that oftentimes the reason why many people are not able to do much is because even when it looks like you've done your bit, so for example, sensitization started, for example, have a platform like Workplace Women has created an initiative called The Seeds. From September, we'll be vocal on Twitter, giving solutions, having speakers come up with solutions. And Auntie, permit me to put you on the spot, but we'll most likely have you on one of those sessions on the Twitter Spaces conversation. I know you're very tech savvy. You'll be able to flow through with that. And thank God it's evening. I won't want to stress you again like we did today. Have you, very early hours. That one is in the evening, so you'll be able to key in. So my question for you is this, Auntie. When you do your bits within the settings like Ramata is proposing that we do, and then you have the big blocks, what you call the big blocks. Like this morning now, you've, in a very short manner, you've just shown us a short process to come up with a bill at least. I didn't know you can even walk into the Congress like you have said it. At least someone living here can say, if I'm to pass a bill now, at least I know the first 2 steps to take, and then the rest will be left for them in the House, whether it passes through the first reading or the second reading. But at least the things I see that do not make sense, I can write and say, you know what, let me get this to the ears of the people who will hear it. In this kind of scenario that we have today, where INEC is playing hanky-panky games, you have areas where you really cannot do much. We raised the Electoral Act because it's one area where you can tweak something and you know that constitutionally or as an act, you know, people can walk through. We take the example of female participation. It's in the Constitution that you should have a particular percentage. And then it is not eventually implemented. I love results. I'm a result-driven person. What then can be done to ensure that we see through to the end, to ensure that you don't have processes where you've put in so much effort, but because, you know, it's still not like a hammer on the head, it is not true. So, for example, from September to December, we sit on Twitter and we reel out all the solutions there can be, whether it's in education, in health, in New Nigeria, electoral processes, vote trading, female participation, PWD, inclusiveness, diversity, and we do all that. The agitations in the land, insecurity. After we have done all that, sensitize the people, then INEC sits somewhere and jeopardizes it. And I think that has always been the missing link in Nigerian politics. In that situation, what do we do? That's my question.
Where do I start from? I'll start with INEC. They're claiming it's going to be electronically transmitted to their server. As you vote, it starts counting from wherever you vote from. And I'm still hoping it stays that way, because it will sort everything you have just said. It will sort it all out. I don't have to now say, oh, do this or do that. That's another petition, not a bill now. Another petition any of your or all of your organizations. If I don't know how many people are here, say 10, and you're all here, but you all have your different other organizations, right? And you say all 10 of you with your different other organizations, you now want to talk separately to make an impact, but you know you're all under workplace women, right? But you have your other 10 organizations. You write petition. Each of these other 10 organizations can write a petition, right? It's now going to be different. This organization will look, you're writing the same thing. You can even come together, discuss, come up with exactly what you want to write about. Are you getting it? But each of you will now tweak it so that it will sound different. I'm sure you know one word you can, Thesaurus will give you 10 different other words. So if you use one word, the other people will use different words, and, you know, kind of design your own petitions. It's the same petition, it's the same thing you're writing about, but it is written differently, and you submit it to INEC right now. Nobody's challenging INEC. That's why they're doing what they're doing. I've had to let other people do it, and I've had to talk to, I used to be very much involved in INEC. I get a lot of organizations to do observers. That's the only way to do these things. Personally, in my unit, I sit under the sun from 5 a.m. till whenever it is they say election is over, to watch what is going. I fight and quarrel. You talk to the policemen. You are not here to protect any party. You are here to protect us. We come vote. That's what electorates don't understand. Police is not there to guard INEC. They are not there to guard political. They are there to make sure that the electorates are safe to vote. So that's one thing very urgent that you people need to do. Write petition to let INEC know. It might not be true, but I think we're smelling some hanky-panky. Like they say, when you identify a problem, you're halfway solving it. When INEC knows, oh, so these people have sniffed the hanky-panky, they will think again. They will think again. Let organizations start talking. Start, if you can go on a rise, if you can, anyway, start talking. Let women have to, again, I need women to start going. It is not only men that should be seen on a rise, talking about things that are happening. Get yourselves to media houses, not on Twitter alone. Get yourself on media houses. Go there and discuss. It helps. And you have to understand, women, you control the youth. I hope you know that. Women control the youth because you are mothers. So with women and youth, you already have 67% to your side. When women start coming out to protest, women haven't started. Women have not started. When women start coming out to protest, then Nigeria will start seeing changes. Wow. Nigeria needs to be shut down for a week. Crippled for a week. Nigeria is already crippled. So what cripple Nigeria for a week? I'd rather have them go on exile, self-exile. Let them go on self-exile. And let's start all over.
Wow.
For the ones who have aspirations, the first thing you do, you must be involved in your word. you must. How many of you know your words? Under what word are you? I want to hear. What's
Roots.
your word?
Roots, I know you are. Oh, yeah.
I belong to here in Zaria, Kaduna State. I belong to Hanwa GRA ward.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good. Yes. I need to hear everybody say. You can't say you like politics or you don't know your word. I'm listening. Because after your word, I'm going to ask you who is your local government chairman,
Ward chairman.
or even your ward chairman. Simple word. Nobody's saying anything again. I
Hey.
remember a particular appointee that lost being given an appointment because he did not know his ward chairman's name. Because he doesn't know. He doesn't even know his word. He does big man in his area. Simple question. So who is your ward chairman? And you say you're in politics. Excuse me.
Ramatu, who is your ward chairman? Oh? Which ward do you belong to?
She should know.
Network. She has dropped off again. Wow.
Only Miss Elizabeth.
And so
You
I
all
think
don't know
that's the
your
gap.
word.
And so you see, that's the gap. That's the gap between those of us who are private sector, individuals. You see, and that's why we're having this kind of session, because we just talk. We agitated. But the point is, we don't know how. We don't know how to begin to work that work. And that's why this morning I am so excited, because as little as this session looks, even for someone like me, who seems to be a forerunner, there are many things that have been cleared for me this morning that I would tell you I didn't have an idea. I've always lost a senatorial ambition. Yes, ma'am. I've always lost a senatorial ambition. With how many certifications, degree, I still want to go back and get a law degree, because I feel that it would give me an edge, to be in the house. But here I am, very basic, very basic. When you said the political appointee was forming big man, I think for me that was what it was. Going to the ward, where are they safe? Where we under which place are they sitting? Who am I coming to sit with? Locals in the neighborhood, I mean. And so the truth is, we really cannot begin to make that mark except we go there, because it's those so-called riffraffs or idiots that we feel sit in those places that eventually lead us, the rest of the pack, and make a mess of all that we do, within those seemingly big offices or private sector. So that's why this is like a digital deliverance session, even for me. And I've been writing a lot. I've been writing. So it's an open confession. I don't know. Now that I'm thinking of, I have always been a diehard PDP lover, fan. And the obedience movement came up. So now that I'm also even feeling that, this is a better opportunity, because at least it is new. I haven't still found one. Someone had put it up, one Nicholas Okoye, who was also a very strong PDP fan, a mentee of Baba Obasanjo, had put it up sometime that people should open up spaces, visit houses. I felt that was a very insecure strategy. I mean, how do I openly declare? This is not America, where you can just put up a flag and say, oh, I'm blue, I'm red, I'm a Democrat, why will I just identify with a house? What if they come there and massacre everyone? So I felt that wasn't a good strategy, and I just passed because I felt there should be a designated place. But really, now that you're saying all of this, there are things that some of us need to go back and give a thought to. The one about the petition that you raised, I mean, it's amazing. Is amazing. I have never, the confession is, I have never known that this is doable. I'm a mobilizer. To get 100 women to write different petitions under different names and bombard INEC is not a challenge. But I didn't know till now that is something I can do. I didn't know at all. If not, to get people to do that under different initiatives, even in their names as individuals who probably are reputable and can do that, happens. Yeah, you know,
and even to the National Assembly,
to,
not just sign it, to anybody, petition anybody.
So Ma, another question would be, in writing this. So Ma, in writing this, where does this submission go to? Does it, you send a hard copy to their office or what? What's that process? What does it look like?
Yes, you write, register it, and make sure they sign for it. They open it, they read it.
I'm writing now. We should write, please.
At least I know Mr. Okoye reads.
We should be writing until all these things that they are very
Mr.
important.
Okoye, the publicity person for INEC, reads it. He reads. And that's why he comes on air all the time to explain himself. He reads it. So down to basics.
For me, go ahead, Ma. You were saying something.
I say you have to go back to basics. If you have aspiration, you have to go back to basics.
Thank you very much, Ma. I can't quantify my joy. We have spent 2 hours, 14 minutes on this platform, both with you, sharing the governance index for us. The truth is, oftentimes we don't even know what to look out for. And I think you achieved that within that session. You've gone on to help us see even how to write a bill. Beyond that, you've gone on to help us see how we can get agencies to align, especially when those agencies become showstoppers, you know, to the process of good governance. And then you've also gone forward to say that for those of us who have aspirations, it is not enough that you have those aspirations. We need to begin to identify with the building blocks that can ultimately get your voices heard, get your actions registered. And I must say that it's been 2 hours of digital deliverance. Someone was laughing at me when I said digital deliverance. I also think it would be a good place for us to end. But Ma, I want to plead with you and have you openly make that commitment that we can always have you.
You always have me. That's why you called me, and I 2 days notice, and I said no problem, anytime.
All right, Ma. We can always have you.
For last words, let me ask.
Yes.
Have you ever thought for once the reason why politicians, election is around the corner, they are looking for me and you? Have you ever thought why? It is because you are the governance. That's all I have to say. If not, they will bypass you and go and. So why are you looking for me to come and vote? Why are you coming to campaign? Have you ever thought about that? Because you are the seat of governance. They need you.
Wow.
The elected
Wow.
official, yes, they
They
need you.
need you. Wow.
If
So it's a
there's
lie
no
when
need
they
for
tell
election.
you they don't need you.
If not, there's no election. There's no need for election now. Right? So even if it is one vote that comes, that one vote, whoever you gave it to will use it to win. They cannot start
Wow.
a government. They cannot start a government. They cannot represent you without you sending them that. And that's why they canvass for votes.
Wow.
And they will do and they will do anything and everything to please you, which comes to the talk of stomach infrastructure. Why do they go all out to want to please you, to curry you, to buying votes? Why? Because you are the seat of governance.
Governance. Wow. Wow.
Thank you
Dear
so very much
sisters,
for
I think
giving
it's a
me
good
the
place to
honor.
open up your videos. Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. My joy knows no bounds.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
My
you.
future leaders. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. It is
thank you for
this
this.
pleasure.
Thank you, ma.
Always
Thank
a
you, ma.
pleasure. It will always be a pleasure to come talk to you or any other group you see fit. I'm always available. You know that. If not, you won't come to me. Women should be in politics. I don't even know. Have they passed the law? Have they passed the law?
Thank you so much, ma. Thank you so much.
You know, each state has 3 senators. We advocated, I'm always going to National Assembly, like I said. We advocated for 2 men, 1 woman for Senate seats. It's just appropriate.
You were asking if they passed the law on what, ma?
We had advocated for every 3 seats, 1 woman must be a senator there. Whether she wins now is another, but let a woman vie for the 3rd seat.
Okay, so I know that advocacy happened, but that was part of what Ramat was talking about the other time when she was talking about the effective
governance. Yes, these are things. I'm giving you now
representation of women.
Yes.
In politics.
I'm giving you ideas of what to petition. You can petition, have one organization can have 100 petitions. That's another idea. Petition to have for every 3 senators, there should be 1 woman. That's literally the 35% in the Constitution. So why are you not doing it? Ask questions. We're supposed to be asking questions all the time.
Thank you, ma. And so, ma, part of what I'm also going to plead with you is that every stride we make, every effort we make, I will give you feedbacks, because I also believe that accountability, yes, ma'am, is one of the ways to go. When you know that you need to give a buzz back, you need to give a feedback on efforts that have been made. I would also do that, especially based on the workplace women feedback. And I'd also like to say, ma, that when you get our letter as a speaker, I know we have about eight themes in that area. I'm hoping that aside women participation in politics, you would also see that effective 35% representation. You would also see another that interests you, and we would like to have you on that Twitter Spaces convo. Your last words for us, I recall again, is that they need us. If it wasn't important, there would be no canvassing, there would be no huge budgeting in those areas, meaning that when we also do not do our bit, then we have also given room to a lot of reading. And I'm hoping that the women on this platform who represent different areas, we have women in education, we have women in the workplace, in the private sector at C-level, we have those even at junior levels, we have those who are entrepreneurs who run their own businesses, and a few of them have heard this morning. One person that didn't speak, I was hoping she was going to do that, was Felicia Nathan, because I saw her plea this morning to ensure that she joins this session. We had made the link a closed one because we didn't want anyone coming in. We wanted this kind of atmosphere where you could actually bear your hearts out to us. Thank you very much, Ma. On this note, I'd honorably want to end the session and say thank you again, Ma. Thank you, thank you. I think this is about 6 a.m. in the United States. From 3 a.m. we've inconvenienced you this much. Thank you very much, Ma.
It's
Thank
not an
you.
inconvenience. I will sleep good that I have captured. How many of you have captured some more women who will spread?
Yes, Ma, about 12
wings?
of us, Ma. Yes, about 12 women of strength in their different areas.
Good.
Thank you very much, Ma. I love you.
It gives me so much pleasure when I do that.
I love you
Thank you
dearly,
for
Ma.
having me.
Thank
I
you, Ma.
love
Thank
you
you, Ma.
all.
I love
Stay
you dearly.
safe.
I appreciate
Stay
this.
safe.
Ladies, please say thank you as I end the session. Thank you, Ma.
Thank you,
Thank you.
ma.
Au revoir.
Thank you,
Ma. Au
ma.
revoir.
Thank you,
Enjoy
ma.
the rest of your day,
God
too, Ma.
bless
Thank you
us
very
all.
much.
Stay
Bye.
safe.
All right, Ma. Bye, Ma. Bye.
Bye-bye.